What's up, Roy?
Hey, what's happening?
Was you wanting to show these guys how to plastic dip some C-Force plastics?
Not really.
Not really? I want to do all that?
Yeah, I guess we'll let them in on a little secret.
Cool.
So
We ain't going to show them what not to do.
yeah, I catch rags on fire.
Yeah. I can't show them. The gimbal won't go down that way.
So you have different types of plastics. And ABS plastic, which is on most like Harley Davidsons, their fairings and saddlebags and all that's typically ABS. That stuff you can degrease, scuff, and paint directly to it. Then you have other plastics that have oil in them. The manufacturers use that so to release from the machines. You'll see guys with dirt bike plastics, quad plastics, stuff like that, and they'll try to scratch them up and paint them, but then it always cracks, and that's why it has oils in it.
Right.
So what we do to prevent that, I don't use adhesion promoters, I use epoxy primer, but what you do is you heat treat it. And what that does is it'll let the oil sweat out of the plastics, and then you wipe it with alcohol, and it promotes your adhesion.
Let me go over
So,
there.
yep. So you don't want to put too much heat on it. You just kind of run it across. You could see, well, probably not on the camera, but the oils will come to the surface.
It'll get shiny.
It'll get shiny, yeah. And again, when you paint something, paint will cause a part to heat up.
Right.
Especially your primers and stuff, the catalyst. So what that'll do is it'll draw that oil to the surface. And obviously paint's not going to stick to oil. So right now there's an oil film on that.
Yep.
We're going to, with the torch, we're going to heat that, get it out of there, wipe it. And where's your rag?
So what should they wipe it with?
I use denatured or isopropyl alcohol.
So just ice, so if they got that in their bathroom cupboard, they can use that?
No, you're going to go to Lowe's and get...
You want 98%, 99%?
Yeah, you don't want to use just regular rubbing alcohol.
Because it's got contaminants and
Yep.
stuff in it.
So what we're going to do with these, so right now, we get the oils out. And that's my phone. We'll get the oils out.
So guys, that was going to be the first stage to do the plastics. The second stage, now this is going to get a little bit noisy, so bear with us. The second stage was to sandblast the plastics. Now you want to do a light sandblasting, you don't want to go overboard because it'll hurt the plastics. But if you do it just right, it saves a ton of time and will give the plastics that etching that it needs for the paint to properly stick. So right after that, you're going to want to blow the plastics off, clean the plastics, and then they're going to get ready for paint. I'm going to show you that. So right here is Roy's paint booth. This is where it's going to get a little loud. But I wanted to show you what these plastics look like real quick. See how dull they are? You don't want them to be shiny at all. They're dull. He came in here and wiped them off. Got them nice and clean. So the paint will stick to them a lot better. Now, as you can imagine, this camera that I'm holding is not cheap. So we're not going to be sticking that in the paint booth today. But what we are going to do is stick my $1,500 iPhone in there. Because it's a lot cheaper than this camera. So let's get into that footage. Okay, so he got the plastics all primed, and now he's gonna get ready and paint them. What color are you painting them?
One's metallic silver. Black pieces will be a metallic silver. Then we're gonna dip. Then we're gonna do an orange candy.
Cool.
Over that, then clear coat.
Cool.
The parts that were red is going to be a pearl white with the dip, and then clear coat.
Cool.
About 47 steps.
About 47 steps, he says. Hopefully you heard that. He's not miking up because he's working with the paint. But we'll show you these. So he's got them all painted up with the primer, sealer. And now he's gonna get ready and paint the ones that are in here. Them ones in there. So that's the next step, is to paint those, get the color on them, and then they're gonna have to get dipped, which you'll see that, and then they'll get clear coated on top of that, and you'll see that as well. Yo, Roy.
Yo!
You ready to dip these things or what?
I mean, I don't know.
Huh?
Maybe.
You not feeling confident? Or?
No, buddy. We're good.
Oh, okay. You can do it.
All right, I'm going to have you carry this one out.
Okay, go here.
By the tape.
Yep. Give me
All right,
that.
so I can take this.
All right, we're going to start with these little pieces. Tease you guys off. Yep. I want to come out here to the dip tank.
So what we've done so far, we've obviously degreased them.
We did?
Sandblasted.
We did?
Because we know how to do that.
I don't remember doing that. I'm just kidding. We did that, guys. We showed, well, we didn't show during it, but we showed the aftermath.
Yeah, no, you got to set your sandblaster low for that. You don't want to get little fibers, and in case anybody's like, oh, why you sandblast plastic? Well, that's
you're gonna have those professionals.
Yeah.
That ain't done it a day in their life gonna tell you can't do that.
Oh yeah, I love people that get.
They sandblast glass.
Yeah, we sandblast
you can
glass.
Sandblast anything.
Stainless steel.
Yep.
All right. So we prepped it, got it all ready.
See, he's pushing those bubbles out. You don't want them bubbles in there.
No, not in your dip area. So we're good. We're gonna dip in this area here.
Okay.
This is carbon fiber dip. We did a primer, epoxy primer on the plastic, and then we did a metallic silver. Then we're gonna dip.
Metallic silver, and then there's, well, we won't tell them what the next step after this is.
We'll show. We'll
just show them, because they're not gonna believe us.
So anybody that's not familiar with hydrographics, what the process is, I think we explained it in the last video, but
you kind of briefly. Yeah.
Real quick, your film is printed on a polyvinyl alcohol. You put it in the water. The water softens the plastic up. Then you spray an activator. The activator dissolves the plastic completely, and you have your picture or whatever floating in the water, paint. And then you dip it. But guys think, again, you just throw it in the water and it's all good. And there is a little technique to it. A little bit of skill involved.
Yep. But anybody could do this.
Anybody. I train guys all the time.
And it's real, I mean, to dip something, it's not that expensive.
The dipping, yeah.
It's the process to getting to the dip.
Right.
Where either A, you're gonna pay up to do it, or you could do it yourself, and it really isn't. If you do it yourself, it can be costly or not costly. Depends upon.
It'd be costly if you screw it up, don't know what you're doing.
Right. So what does that do?
This is the activator. It's actually our formula.
And they can get that on your website.
Yeah, and this will dissolve the plastic. So we're doing carbon fiber, so we don't want it to spray heavy.
Right. Step back from that. I don't want it on the camera.
Okay, so now what it's done is it has dissolved the plastic, and what we have is the paint floating on the water, basically. Okay, this goes like that, right, on the machine? Or does it go like that?
It goes like that.
Like that,
Yep.
okay. You want to catch it. You go in at like a 45-degree angle.
Just like that, huh?
There's no rush.
No, you want to take your time. There is no such thing as going too slow on this, really. Look at that. Look, looks just like carbon fiber. That looks good, dude. That looks good. Well, yeah.
Now, those are indents in the plastic.
Yeah, it's got those. Yep. I was gonna ask you how that would take, but
What's that?
I was gonna ask you about those.
So if it's not activated properly, it's not going to go down in those areas.
It won't go down in
No.
those. Right. Okay. So the next step, you got to wash it off.
So I can't really tell. Yeah.
The next step,
So
you got to
no, we're going to
wash it
show.
off.
We're going to show. It did not catch some of those areas in them indents.
It sure didn't. But, you know, are we really that worried about it?
I don't know. We'll see when it rinses off.
Yeah. Okay.
If you think about the size of this piece, and then we're doing those giant plastics,
Right.
you'll see how it kind of.
Oh yeah. Wait till we get to the big plastics. Now watch how he does this. Real slow and steady.
You got to feed into it and go down at the same time.
Turn my light on for you guys. Wow, that looks nice. Did it cover those holes?
Don't know.
Now, again, I know this is kind of repetitive, but gonna want to bring it over here and let it rinse and keep rinsing and rinsing and rinsing. What piece of plastic are we working on now, Roy?
We are doing the front biggest piece.
The biggest piece of them all.
That's all I know how to. It's biggest piece.
So,
Sometimes you need a little helping hand.
right.
So this little handy dandy contraption here.
So let's see what you got going on here. This
So to try to lay this out on the tank
Yep.
by hand, you
Is-
never get it right.
And then we'll put a bunch of air bubbles down in it.
Yeah, and even this sometimes does.
Yeah.
But it's better than not.
Right. So you just wrap it on a roll. This is a little trick he's teaching you guys.
Yeah, so you start it out, get it in the water so the water will hold it.
So the water holds it.
And then you roll her out. And there we go.
Just roll it out just like that. That easy?
That's it. Well, yeah.
Why do you make that look so easy?
Well, you know,
You know, my brother could have done that better, a different way.
you probably could have.
He's a professional.
Everybody's a professional.
He doesn't have one of these tanks and doesn't do it for a living, but he could do it better.
He'd do better.
Yeah.
You know, I get that a lot.
Yeah.
I get a lot of guys on Facebook saying, I would have done this, I would have done that.
Well, yeah, done it better,
But
but they've never done it.
they don't do it at all. So,
Right. Yeah.
all right, let me slide that
Now, one thing I
down.
want to show here is because you can see it, this is expanding. You actually could see it. It's pretty cool. And look
Well-
how it smooths out.
A question we do get a lot, and I didn't bring it up before, they'll ask,
Right.
how do you keep it contained? So, again, we make these tanks,
Right.
and these are called dams.
So this is a custom tank made by you.
Yes. We sell these on the website.
Right.
It's our control panels, our wrench tanks.
Right.
Like I said, we own the formula for the activator.
Right.
Quite a bit of stuff. So not only do we apply it, we make the equipment for it. We do training classes for dipping.
Right.
So the key to this is the film's going to expand. Once it expands, it'll shrink back on itself. It clears out. You got to dam it in. So it's got to be squared
So
in.
it doesn't move all around.
Right, but you also want to leave a little bit of room because when you activate it, it's got to expand a little
Right.
bit.
Now, what's the tape on the edges for?
That's to keep it from rolling up.
Keeps it from rolling up. Keeps it straight.
Some films will roll up on you. They want to curl up, and then it's all out of discombobulated.
Right.
Is that a word?
And that just helps. It helps
Yeah.
keep that from happening.
Don't ever tape all four sides
Nope, just two, right?
because then it wrinkles up. It doesn't expand.
Right.
Yeah, that's why you leave a little room, so it has to expand some.
Right.
All right, we are going to do this.
Are you ready?
I don't know.
I'm going to step away while you do that.
It's a pretty big piece, Bubba.
Yeah, I'm stepping away. Would you look at that?
She looks good. All right. Oh, where's my part? I need my part.
I think the part is in the room there.
Yeah.
I think it's in the film room.
All right. We fitting to see if this works or not.
Right?
I have a motto. Either it'll work or it won't.
Right? See him get this, guys. See him get it. Dipping it.
So here we want to keep it at a 45-degree angle, so you start to change your angle.
So you roll it. You're rolling it.
Yep, feeding it in the whole time.
He's rolling it like a ball.
What do we think? Did it come out good?
Holy moly!
I can't see it. How's it look?
Yeah. Looks like shit.
It looks like shit?
Yeah.
Damn it, it does look like shit.
Yeah. So you guys are getting a first-hand peek of the plastics and what we're doing with those. Some kid is gonna absolutely love that.
We're gonna use my roly-poly again.
So what film we using?
Well, it's a diamond-plated metal.
Diamond plate?
Yeah. We found that the carbon fiber just didn't act the way I wanted it to.
Yeah, so we had to change it up a little bit.
Carbon fiber is difficult, especially for all those angles that we had.
Yeah.
So we're gonna give it a diamond plate metal look.
Right.
Which I think is gonna work better, but this piece it's a very difficult piece to do.
Yeah, I don't know how you're doing that one.
Well, we're fitting to find out, Bubba.
I guess so. The diamond plate's gonna look good. I think it'll do better than that carbon fiber.
Yeah.
And it'll still look really good.
Oh, it's gonna look real good. This stuff, I mean, it looks good. It's on a metallic silver.
Right.
Which is gonna give it some depth, really.
Right. You gotta box it in.
The only thing I'm concerned about, like I said, there's some very steep angles.
Yeah, we're fitting to find out, ain't we?
With that.
We're fitting to find out.
Well, we're going to try to trick it.
Right?
Again, my motto is, it's either going to work or it ain't. Well, we're going to try it. This is the piece we're doing.
Yeah, I don't know how you're doing that, buddy.
So, we got to try to get that film all the way through there.
Bet that's a rough one.
It's pretty...
Let's find out.
Pretty crazy, but we're going to see. Now, again, anything that can be submerged in water can be hydro dipped. Of course, it's prep. You know, you got to prep it properly.
Right.
Again, you're adding a paint job, or you're doing a paint job, just adding an extra element to it.
Yep.
But you also got to think about angles and how the film's going to lay on there. You want it to flow naturally on it.
Yep.
But that's got some steep, real steep.
It do.
So we're going to see.
We're fitting to find out. He's going to spray that and we're going to see.
I ain't guaranteeing nothing on this one. But.
Worst case, we got a couple more hours of work.
Right. And for people that say, oh, you're doing that, you don't have a mask on. I got an exhaust fan. It sucks it out.
It does. Even in the paint booth, you don't even smell that paint.
Fucking Shazam, buddy.
Looks good to me.
Shazam.
Looks good to me.
Look at that.
Oh, yeah.
Caught every goddamn bit of it. Oh, God, why?
That's all right. We get it. We get that camera out of there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that looks good.
And put some candy orange
I
on
think
that.
I think that looks better than the carbon fiber would have been anyway.
Oh yeah.
What'd you do, Roy?
I had a boo-boo.
Did the paint come open?
A little bit.
I think the paint came open, buddy.
Just a little bit.
Oh, man. Roy wants to take this thing for a rip before he buttons it all up. Roy put in one of my very aggressive kits. I can't walk. He's about to lay her down.
Two-wheel drive right now.
Yeah, that's the way to be. There we go. He's gonna get her down. There you go. He being easy. He being easy on her. You being easy on her. You being easy.
Well, I got a bunch of shit uncovered back there.
I know. There he goes. There he goes. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's right. That's right. That's right. I knew you'd be easy.